Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Today's webinar covers how AI is helping food suppliers improve operational efficiency and customer service. Just by way of introduction, my name is Audrey. I'm part of the marketing team at Fresho. And today joining us, we have James Andronis, who's CEO of Fresho. And before starting Fresho, he was a food supplier for about 20 years.
Hey everyone, it's great to be here.
Just as a few people trickle through, today we'll cover what's happening with AI in the industry, if you're thinking about AI for your business, what you should consider, and really exciting, we'll also cover Fresho's new automated order entry tool. We've also got a Q&A session after this, so if you look at the bottom right of your screen, I believe there is a questions tab. Please submit questions anytime during the webinar. They are anonymous, so please don't be shy. And if we don't get around to all of them at the end of today's session, we'll be able to answer them after this. It's also being recorded, so we can share a recording of this session with you afterwards. Cool, there's a lot of people that has joined, so let's get started. So first off, James, what does AI mean in the first place?
Okay, so in simple terms, AI or artificial intelligence really refers to computers and machines performing functions that we'd normally associate with the human mind. So without knowing it, we're all exposed to AI regularly in our everyday lives. I'd say most people here would have heard of ChatGPT or Siri or Amazon's Alexa. You might even have received a recommended playlist on Spotify or a movie suggestion on Netflix. So each of those digital products are using a form of AI to optimize the customer experience without even the customer knowing.
Right, when you think about it, I've probably integrated AI into my everyday life so much and without even knowing. It's amazing. Why has it all of a sudden become so present or important for us right now?
Yeah, it's a good question, Audrey. I think what's happened is there's been a really big shift in the accessibility of AI. So until recently, AI-powered tools were really only available to the big tech companies because they were the only ones that could afford to run the hardware and the software teams required for these big AI systems. But in the past 12 months, AI technologies reached an inflection point where it's become so much cheaper to run and therefore more widely accessible. And now, we're seeing anyone can log into ChatGPT and use it to help write emails, as an example. Lawyers are even using it to write documents and contracts. That's a pretty scary thought. And businesses can use it to automate their customer orders as well. So it's really progressed a lot and become a lot more available. And now that it has become a lot more accessible, the people who adopt AI early, like with any technology, are getting an immediate edge or leg up against their competitors in terms of efficiency, speed, and margin.
And so for us, or the fresh food industry in particular, what does AI mean?
Well, firstly, having been a supplier previously, I never thought I'd be talking about AI in our industry, in the food industry. It's quite incredible how quickly it's evolved. So I guess AI is really about using technology to help do the jobs that you don't want to do. And that means making more time for you to spend on things in your business that you want to be doing or you should be doing. So from a business perspective, imagine having more time to build relationships with key accounts and customers instead of doing routine admin tasks. And from a personal perspective, it means more time at home and with your family and for yourself. So right now, AI isn't going to solve problems that require complex human behaviour, such as account management or sales. But it is ideal for repetitive, mundane tasks, particularly those that are hard to recruit for or hard to retain staff for. Things like night shift data entry are a really good example of where AI can have a big impact in the industry.
Right, when you put it that way, there's so many ways that AI could help improve quality of life, both at work and personally as well. What are you aware of at the moment that's happening in the industry? How are food suppliers already using AI to improve customer service or their operational efficiency?
Yeah, we're already seeing AI being used in a growing number of areas and across a number of tasks in the industry. Things like the automation of entering orders that come via email, voice message, text message, even WhatsApp. And we'll demo this in a minute to show everyone what we're talking about. Also seeing it with automatic scanning of line items for your supplier purchases. So I guess it's another area that it's being used to scan that data and to bring that into systems. And then there's delivery routing systems. I'm sure there's some people on the call today that are using delivery routing systems. A number of those are AI powered. And we're also starting to see it to enhance customer experience, which is a bit like that Netflix and Spotify example I spoke of earlier. Things like offering personalised, more enjoyable experiences for your customers by recommending products based on order history or their preferences or the time of year, and also automating other repetitive tasks, which can lead to quicker deliveries and improved customer satisfaction. So we're seeing it really across the board now.
Right. You can see how AI would very quickly become an indispensable tool for food suppliers. For those that want to be an early adopter or think about AI eventually for their business, what do they need to consider?
Yeah, it's a great question. Some definite things to consider some questions to ask would be things like, does it achieve its purpose of replacing the jobs that people don't want to do, so that your team can focus on other areas that deliver more value for your business? Is it significantly lower cost than doing those tasks manually? What does the setup look like? And is your time required? Because these AI systems need training. What's the provider's approach to data security? We know that information privacy and data breaches are really serious concerns in this day and age for businesses. So providers should have a policy around security. And it's always important to understand if the software can handle edge cases that will likely arise based on customer behaviour. And we're in the food industry, so there's a whole range of customer behaviour and definite edge cases that need to be considered.
I actually didn't know what edge cases meant until recently. For those who don't know, what does that mean?
Yep. So in the software development industry, an edge case is a problem or a situation that falls outside of normal procedures. So it's essentially when you test for an edge case, you're really checking to see how the software behaves under an unexpected or rare condition.
That makes sense. So what are some of the scenarios that AI might have to deal with just for, let's say, the ordering process?
Yeah, well, I mean, as everyone would know on this call, it can be pretty complex when you think about it in terms of orders, and I'm sure everyone's experienced the frustrations with customer orders at some stage. I guess some examples of what AI has to deal with: a chef who calls a product by a different name, or when a chef doesn't include their venue name in a message. That's always a beauty to try and understand where they're from or figure out where they're from. Also, when there's no date on an order, does the AI put the next delivery date or something else, depending on the rule that's created? Also, I guess when a customer places an email order, a good example would be, if they've got 20 products in the order, and then an hour later they forward the same email asking for one of those products to be cancelled, how would the AI deal with that scenario? So these are just some of the edge cases that the AI needs to deal with customer orders.
Right. You can see how knowing, I guess, the nuances and common issues and ins and outs of daily processes plays a big role, because I guess the AI would have to be able to identify edge cases in the first place before knowing how to effectively handle them, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. How about we see Fresho's new AI tool and how it works? But first, can you please tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. So in simple terms, Fresho's new AI tool automates one of the most time-consuming processes and error-prone tasks in food businesses, and that's manual order entry. And what it does is it receives and captures your customer orders that come in via email or voicemail, text message, WhatsApp, and turns them into sales orders. And this just completely eliminates the manual input part of the process, so you don't have to have someone entering those orders in. And there's no dealing with last minute sick days or annual leave. The AI just doesn't take time off and doesn't get sick. It just keeps going all the time. So we've got great data on performance to date, and so we can put some numbers on it. At the moment, you see on average it saves about 3 minutes per order in terms of data entry. So if we multiply that out by, as an example, 500 orders a week or however many orders people might do, that's a lot of hours saved when you tally that up, and that's the type of task that is ideal for AI because it's so repetitive. It also reduces errors because it doesn't forget or get tired and make mistakes. It's always on a consistent level. So once it's been taught, it doesn't make the same error again, which is really, I guess, the difference between the human manual way of doing things. So, the food industry is really different to other industries. So there's so many variations with ordering, and there isn't a standard format with how orders come in, as we all know. So to overcome this, we're adding a human oversight element to the AI, and that's mainly for quality control and to teach it as it goes. So this means that whilst you're sleeping, you've got the confidence and peace of mind knowing that the accuracy is as high as possible with the orders that are coming through. So we've got someone from our team that reviews the AI output and makes sure that its accuracy is correct and is teaching it along the way. So it also means that there's no commitment from your side to train the AI, which is a really, really big piece of work. So we do that for you. So probably at this point, best if we jump in and have a look under the hood and show everyone how it works. So people will be familiar with Fresho. This is a new screen, and you can see it's got a source column here. We've got marketplace orders, and we've got AI-assisted order entry orders that have come in here. We'll show you, this is sort of the inbox that we call it, the magic type of inbox. And these are the orders that are coming through, and they've got a status on them in terms of how successful they've been read by the AI. We'll go into a few examples and have a good look at what it does under the hood. So here we've gone in, we've seen the first order that's come in. It's a PO from Taste Bud Delights. It's got all the products down here. The AI on the right-hand side here has picked up the correct customer, all the correct details, dates, all the correct products and quantities. So that's 100% accurate, and that just goes straight through. Next order that's come through, again, just an example. We've got a PO. It's got salmon fillets written down here. The AI has picked up as a first go at it salmon steaks, but it's highlighted that it's not sure that whether that's right or not. So it's telling us that needs to be reviewed. We can come in and say, no, it's not salmon steaks. So we're going to select salmon fillets when we're teaching it. It then asks us, do you want to create a rule to always associate salmon steaks with salmon fillets? We can say yes across the board, or we can say only for this customer, or we can say no. Whatever we choose there, next time this happens, the AI has automatically learnt that, and it won't make that mistake again. So we'll just click yes for now, and that's successfully made that rule. Everything else was correct, so we can submit and move on to the next order. This one's slightly different, not a PO. It's an email that's come through, free text email. You can see they didn't say where they're from, the venue in the email and the body of the email here, but the AI has picked up from the email address the customer that it belongs to. It's got all the correct products and quantities, so that's 100% accurate there. This is an example of one that is not an order. So again, AI can pick that up. It hasn't put any products in, and it's recommended that this is marked as no order. So it would go back into the inbox for you or your admin team to deal with. Customers asking what time is the earliest they can get a delivery on Friday. Go to the next one. Again, another free text order. You can see here, it's picked it up all 100% correct. So that's a great result. And then this is where it gets a little bit interesting. This is voicemail. It's quite amazing. It listens to the voicemail, translates it into free text, as you can see on the left-hand side here, and turns it into a sales order. In this example, it's got everything correct, but the venue has ordered something, a product that isn't in our product range or isn't something that you've sold before, so there's no history of it. what that'll do then, it's had a go at it, and it said russet potatoes. It said it's suggested, is that Desiree potatoes? We're going to say no, it's not. And then what it will do, it will make that into a miscellaneous item, and it'll put a note underneath for your pickers or for someone in admin to change it or to decide what to do with it. And it said it'll say 1 box of russet potatoes, which has been ordered. So again, that just got everything else 100% accurate, but it's amazing that it does the voicemail as well into free text. Then we'll come back to the orders tab in Fresho, and all of those orders that have gone through the AI would just be sitting in your magically sitting in your orders tab as approved orders that have gone through, ready to be processed and picked and packed for the day. It's really as simple as that. Quite amazing how efficient it is.
Amazing. All right. I imagine some people might be wondering about the launch of this AI tool. Some Fresho customers are already using it. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We've got quite a few customers already using it. So far, it's been amazing. Some of the results. Obviously, there's a learning process with the AI, but it doesn't take very long at all. All of the customers that are using it are loving it, and the feedback that they're giving is enabling us to build it out further and to keep improving it. We've got a whole development team focused on this in Australia, locally based, and the team's built this out, and they'll continue to build this out over the years to come. So this is something that we've invested heavily in, and we'll continue to do that.
Fantastic. And for those who are interested, what else is there to know?
Well, I think we spoke about pricing a little bit before as a consideration. So really what it means is with the automation that you get here and the investment that we've made as well, it means that it's cheaper than the manual alternative. So that's something to really consider. From the setup perspective, there's free training, and then we do all the work with you to agree on the edge cases, but then we train the system. So it's quite a simple process to get it up and running. There's also a flexible approach. The AI can work in shifts. If you just say, we just want the AI on between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m. or something like that, then that can be arranged, or maybe just on the weekends, or even just for certain groups of customers that you might want to start. It's really flexible, and it can be applied in that instance. It's a new technology, so we understand that support's necessary, and we provide that.
Awesome. All right. So we've got a bit of time to go through some questions. There's already a few that have come through. So first off, we have Dave. When is this rolling out for everybody?
Good question, Dave. We're starting to roll this out now, so this is available. If anyone's interested, please reach out, contact us. We can talk to you about it, give you a demo, and talk through how to get it up and running. But basically, we're rolling this out as of now.
Fantastic. And then Hayden's just asking, what about the customer not speaking English clearly on the phone? That's a good question.
We've had quite a bit of fun with this in the office, and some good laughs listening to some of these examples. But there is a way, or the AI can listen to more than one language and translate it into another language. AI is really it's limited with its languages at the moment. So we haven't released this feature, but it's something that's on the roadmap. Again, we don't see this very often. I think what we do see is lots of examples of really heavy accents, or a bit of mixed pidgin English, and the AI has been great at picking that up. It's quite incredible, some of the accents that it's picked up. So no issue with accents, but language is probably an iteration that's down the track.
From Sarah, can you program what customers or emails will be picked up, or is it all or nothing?
No, that's a great question, and that's part of the flexible approach. So you might have just one customer group that you might get 20 POs from a night, and you want to start with that and see how it goes. That's what we can arrange, and that's what the AI can do. We can just program it to just work on those specific customers as a starting point.
So from Matt, they've got a few channels that customers order through, like the owner's phone, email, Fresho, and a warehouse answering machine. So would this be a module that we add on to capture all this, or do we redirect customers through this?
Yep. So we can handle all of that. Our implementation team gets involved once we go ahead, and we'll talk with you guys about how to get that all into one place. We've set that up. We've done that with some suppliers that are, text message going to multiple people in the business from different customers, Fresho, answering machines, emails. So it all gets collated into the AI tool and pushed into the AI tool, and then the output pops up magically in Fresho as a sales order. So yes, we can handle that.
Great. And from Melissa, do we need to link a specific order's email address to Fresho, and how does it link voicemail?
The current process around that is that the AI will process all emails that come into a dedicated Fresho AI inbox. The orders can get into that inbox in many ways. An auto forward, our team, or in conjunction with the suppliers team, set this up from the supplier's inbox, and it can include voicemails that come through as well. You can set that up now for voicemails to come through to as an email. So that they'll all get collated, and as I said earlier, you can select only certain customer types or certain customer groups if you want to start with that as well. So it's quite flexible with how it works.
And from Leanna, how does the AI cope with a photo of an order written on an order pad?
It's a good question as well. We don't see a lot of that at the moment. We've only seen that in a few instances. The AI currently doesn't read images to an accuracy level that we'd be happy with. So it's one of the more difficult things to interpret. This is definitely on the list, and we're aiming to be able to do this down the track for sure.
Cool. And then from Dave, if a customer sends through a PO with prices, does it pick up those prices and update, or use the prices set in Fresho already?
It's a good question. Probably saw that in the demo there. So with the current iteration, Fresho is the source of truth in terms of the pricing that are there, and the assumption there is that the suppliers decide what they charge their customers, not the other way around. What comes through on a PO or a free text email. Obviously, there's some exceptions to this, and it's something that we're working on and looking at, because there are edge cases around this. We realise that there are some suppliers with large groups that might dictate prices as an example, and they just want to go ahead with whatever price is on the PO. So we're working through that now and taking that into consideration for future development.
Okay, and from Sophie, is Fresho AI a standalone product or part of the whole Fresho ecosystem?
Fresho AI is a standalone product outside of Fresho, so you don't need to be using Fresho to be using Fresho AI. But we've got plenty of suppliers that use Fresho, and then it's just a bolt-on attachment to that, and the orders flow through to Fresho. But we've also got other suppliers that use their ERP system and Fresho AI, and it just converts the orders into sales orders into their ERP system.
That's all the questions so far. I guess one last one. James, what about the future? Where do you see AI potentially taking us?
I think the mind boggles with what AI could be used for in our industry in the future. In the short term, it's really about focusing on those repetitive tasks that we're talking about, like the order entry. But it could certainly move to more complex tasks in the future, things like predictive analytics that can forecast demand from your customers based on historical sales and different factors like weather and things like that. Another one could be data analysis and real-time information about certain actions that you could take to improve margins in your business. So things like picking rates and error rates or not available items, delivery rates, DIFOT, margins, on different products. It could send alerts and advise what you need to do in those instances based on customer purchasing behaviour. And another area where AIs could be really well suited for is inventory management and pre-ordering of your purchases. So that's something that we think that will be quite effective with AI.
Awesome. All right. We've got another question. We've actually got two more coming through. Melissa, when will pricing be available?
Pricing's available now, and we can talk to you about that on an individual basis if you contact us.
Cool. And then there's Craig as well, also asking, does the cost of this work for a smaller business with 50 to 100 orders per week?
Absolutely. This tool's designed for every business in the food industry.
Awesome. Thanks. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more questions. So if you have any or you are interested, please just email us at hello@fresho.com. That's it. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been great to have you, and we'll send a recording of this afterwards.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.